When you think of flamenco, you think of fire, right? Passion, raw emotion. But what if I told you it's also a language, a secret code even? Well, today, we are going to unlock some of that code by looking at a few powerful terms that all start with the letter P. Trust me, you're about to see and hear flamenco in a whole new way.
So what really makes a flamenco performance powerful? I mean, really unforgettable? Is it the dancer's feet moving faster than you can see? That gut-wrenching cry in the singer's voice? The blur of the guitarist's fingers? Well, yeah, it's all of that. But the real magic? It's the conversation that's happening between all of them. So let's do this. Let's build a performance together, right now, from the ground up. We're going to start with the absolute basics, the most elemental sounds, and then layer everything on top, piece by piece. And we're going to use flamenco's own vocabulary as our guide. Okay, so every great building needs a solid foundation. In flamenco, that foundation isn't made of concrete or steel. Nope, it's the raw, unfiltered power of the human voice and the primal, undeniable pull of rhythm. This is where it all starts. And we start in what might be the most vulnerable but also the most powerful place you can imagine. It's a style called palo seco. Just picture it, a single voice filling a silent room. No guitar, no clapping, absolutely nothing to hide behind. That is pure, unfiltered emotion. That's the soul of flamenco, laid bare for everyone to see. Wow. That lone voice is just breathtaking, right? But flamenco, it needs a heartbeat, and that pulse comes from the very first instrument any of us ever learned to play, our own hands. And that's where the palmas come in, the intricate, driving hand claps that power the whole performance. But you gotta listen closely, because a clap is not just a clap. See, on one side, you have palmas secas. That's the sharp, bright crack of open palms hitting each other. It just slices right through the air. And then you've got palmas sordas. You cup your hands for this one, and it creates this deeper, kind of muted sound that supports the singer without ever overpowering them. It's a huge difference.
And make no mistake, these claps are anything but random. They are laying down the patron. Think of the patron as the rhythmic blueprint, the invisible architecture of the song. It defines the specific style being played, and every single person on that stage, the singer, the dancer, the guitarist, they are all locked into that same unspoken code.
Okay, so we've built our foundation with pure voice and rhythm. Now it's time to add the color, the harmony, the fire. You guessed it, we're bringing in the iconic flamenco guitar. Now, a real flamenco guitar is a very special thing. It's not just about the pala, the headstock. The wood choice is, well, it's everything. Pino abate, or spruce, gives the guitar that bright, almost sharp voice. But if you use palo santo, that's rosewood, you get what's called a negra guitar. And that instrument has this deep, resonant growl to it. Totally different vibe.
But you know what? You could have the most expensive guitar in the world, and it wouldn't matter without good pulsación. This is the guitarist's touch, their unique attack on the strings. A player with great pulsación can make a $10 guitar sing, while someone with a bad touch can make a masterpiece sound dead. It really proves the artist is always more important than the instrument.
And there's no better place to see that artistry than in the picado technique. You know that lightning-fast flurry of notes you always hear in flamenco? That's picado. The guitarist is using 2 fingers to play these super rapid, crystal-clear notes. And when the pulsación is just right, it stops being just a melody, it actually becomes percussion, adding another layer of rhythmic drive.
All right, the stage is set. We've got the voice, we've got the rhythm, we've got the guitar. Now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle, the dancer, the person whose body becomes the ultimate instrument.
This quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of flamenco dance. It's not about how many flashy moves you know. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about the presence, the attitude, the intention in every single movement, even something as simple as walking across the stage.
And the dancer's feet, their Ps, are basically a full percussion kit. Just with 3 basic strikes, they can create this incredible range of sounds. You have the planta, the full soul, for that deep, powerful boom. Then the punta, the toe, for a sharp, intense hit. And the tacón, the heel, which gives you those crisp, rhythmic accents. It is literally a language spoken by the feet. Okay, so let's clear something up. 3 words that sound kinda similar but are totally different. A paso is just a single step, like one word in a sentence. The paseo is the walk itself, the graceful phrase that connects those words. And then there's the parada, a sudden, dramatic stop.
The name actually comes from bullfighting, and the purpose is the same, to create this moment of pure, heart-stopping tension.
So, we've built our perfect stage performance. But the real spirit of flamenco isn't always found under the bright lights. To find its soul, we've got to go to the spontaneous parties and look at the deep-rooted traditions where this whole thing was born.
And this right here, this is the heart of a real flamenco party. It's called a patada. It's a short, fiery, totally improvised burst of dance. And this is not a spectator sport, okay? At these gatherings, everyone is expected to get up and throw down their own little patadita. It's all about that pure, unfiltered, in-the-moment expression.
You have to remember, flamenco is a living, breathing art form, and you can really see that in the story of the panaderos dance. It started as a pretty simple folk dance in the 1800s, then it got adapted for really complex footwork, and eventually it completely transformed into the modern style we now call alegría. It's a perfect example of how flamenco honors its past while it's always pushing forward.
And you just can't separate flamenco from its folk roots. Case in point, the Panda de Verdiales from Malacca. And we're not talking about a small trio here. These are huge, festive orchestras, led by a guy they call the mayor, with violins, tons of guitars, tambourines. When you listen to them, it's like hearing the bridge being built between ancient folk music and the flamenco we see on stage today.
So when you get right down to it, flamenco is the music of the people. It has always soaked up the sounds of everyday life and turned them into art. From the pregones, the songs of street vendors hawking their wares, to the pasodobles of carnival parades, flamenco takes the ordinary and makes it absolutely extraordinary.
So, let's look back at the performance we built. It's held together by the strict structure of the patron and the discipline of a single basso. But it's brought to life by the raw soul of palo seco and the spontaneous fire of a patada. And that's the beautiful paradox of flamenco, isn't it? It's this constant push and pull between discipline and freedom. So I'll just leave you with this question. Which one do you think is really in charge? The rules or the soul?